Guys, it is John from Side Hustle Experiment. In today's video, I am going to post the speech I gave at the Reseller Summit. I cover everything from why I think online arbitrage is one of the best opportunities for people getting started, or if you're selling on eBay, Poshmark, or any other platforms, really, why I think Amazon is a huge opportunity. I talk about how I got started, how I've done over $1 million in sales since this whole business started, and I give away something special at the end. So if you want to check it out, the video is going to start right now. Imagine being able to work from wherever you wanted as long as you had a computer and Wi-Fi, buying products from everyday websites like Walmart, Target, and Best Buy, ordering product, having it come to your house, taking it out of the box, putting a sticker or two on them, and then putting them back in the same exact box, sending them to a warehouse, and then when that item sells, the warehouse would fulfill the order for you on your behalf, send it to the customer, and handle all the customer service. That is the beauty of selling on Amazon, doing the business model of online arbitrage. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get started doing online arbitrage today. My name is John Muscarello, and I am super excited to be here. I want to say thank you to Rob and Melissa for having me present. I have done over $1 million in sales since I started selling about 4 years ago. We mainly sell on Amazon. We also do a little bit on eBay. We used to do a lot more, but we will get into that later. And I am a full-time Amazon seller. I also teach people how to make meaningful money selling on Amazon so they can live on their terms. Be sure to stay to the end of the presentation because I'm going to give away something I've never given away before, and I'll have more details for you at the end. So before we get into how you could get started doing online arbitrage, I'm going to take a step back and show you exactly how I got into reselling and a little backstory. It's going to give you a little bit of context to online arbitrage, how I got there. So I basically started reselling because of not getting a raise. I was working for a company. We came to an agreement that I wanted more salary. They said, hey, after 3 months, if you do a good job, we'll give you the number you want. I said, okay, great. Did a good job. And basically, this was one of those companies, oh, the sky's the limit. You could do whatever. You can make as much as you want. I said, okay, great. Do it, get the raise. Then at the end of the year, rolls around. I've been crushing it. I get an apartment right around the area because I know I'm going to get a big raise. And it turns out that they say, hey, we already gave you a raise, so we're going to give you 1%. Now, that really equated to nothing at the time. So I was super disappointed, but I went home that night and was like, you know what? I need to be in control of how much money I can make. I don't want to be depending on a company or other obstacles. I want to be able to make as much or as little as money as I want. So I started doing some research. I was a big Gary Vee fan at the time, and I still am. At the time, he was going to garage sales and basically picking up stuff to sell on eBay. I always had the inkling that reselling would be something I'd want to do, but I don't know, it just felt weird, or I don't know, it just never lined up for me. But seeing Gary Vee actually go to a garage sale, this guy's a millionaire doing big things. Someone wants $1 for this stuffed animal and he's trying to negotiate down to 15 cents. Just really got me thinking. I was like, you know what? I think I could do this. I'm going to give it a try. I have nothing to lose. For some reason, I decided to start with used furniture. I thought that, you know what? A lot of people are always trying to get rid of it. A lot of other people need it. I just moved into a new apartment, so I was like, oh, it's hard. Furniture is expensive. So I basically bought a set of 4 chairs off of a site called Let Go. It's no longer around, but it's similar to OfferUp. And basically bought them for $10, listed them on Craigslist, OfferUp, and Facebook Marketplace was just getting started back then. And someone bought them off of Craigslist 4 days later for $40. That was the first taste I got of reselling, and I was hooked. I was like, this is amazing. So that whole year I kept doing that. I kept buying tables and chairs and all sorts of stuff. I was able to do about 25,000 in sales in that year, just kind of doing it on the weekend, maybe a night here or there. And basically it was going great. One big problem was I had a 1-bedroom apartment and a Jeep, and you can't fit a ton of furniture in a Jeep, and you can't really fit that much in a 1-bedroom apartment. And the biggest thing that changed everything for me is I went home to New York for Christmas, and people were sending me messages. Hey, we want to buy this table. Can we buy this? Can we buy that? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm home in New York. I'll be back in a week and we can meet up then. Most people were just like, nah, like we need this table like today or tomorrow. And I was like, ooh, that hurts. Like I lost maybe $500 to $100 to $1,000 of by just not being there. And I was just like, and the people who agreed to meet after, when I got back, all of them kind of flaked out or were just like, oh, we found something else. So I was like, all right, like back to the drawing board. I know I have like proof of concept that I could do reselling. I just have to focus it on something else. And the problems I wanted to solve was, one, I didn't want to have to store inventory, or it had to be much smaller. Two, I wanted to be able to make sales when I was pretty much anywhere and didn't have to be in one location to make those sales. So I went on YouTube, came across a Reezy resale video. He was going to thrift stores, buying books for $1, $2, and then selling them on Amazon through a platform, through a thing called FBA. FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, and it's basically a program they offer on their marketplace for sellers where they store everything. When a customer buys it, they pack it, they ship it out, they handle all the customer service and returns, and you don't have to do anything. This sounded like one of the biggest scams I've ever seen. But I was like, you know what? Let me try it. I had 3 or 4 thrift stores like right around my house. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to dedicate, $100, $200 from the money I made selling furniture and basically see what happens. So I got scouting software and basically took my phone, went into stores and basically put my phone up to this barcode, and the software would tell me whether or not I should buy it. So I found 8 books the first day. One of the books had on the back of it that it was selling new for $25.95, and Amazon was selling a used copy for $35. I was like, this is really a scam. And I was like, you know what? Just follow along, follow the process. This is a big part of reselling too. It's just taking action. Like maybe it doesn't make sense right now, but someone much, much more successful than I was doing this. So I'm just going to kind of follow their lead. Send in the books, put labels on them, send in the books, send them to Amazon. About a week or two later, all the books sold, including that book that said it was selling new for $25. It sold for $35. Now I was hooked. I get into it, start thrifting, going to all these different thrift stores, going out of state to other thrift stores, hunting down books, sending them to Amazon. I was able to quit my full-time job in 2019 after about a year and a half of selling books. And basically I got into bulk books because I was tired of going all around to thrift stores. And I was basically buying huge containers of basically boxes of books, about 1,000 or so at a time. Was doing that out of 2 storage units. Really stunk in the winter because it was super cold. Really bad in the summer because it was super hot. Able to build it up and get a beautiful warehouse and got equipment, helpers, the whole deal. And a couple of things changed on Amazon, and I also changed. I wanted a different business model besides books. Books are a ton of work. They're heavy. It's just a lot. It's a great way to get started selling on Amazon, but it also has its pros and cons. So before we get into why I switched to online arbitrage and what Amazon arbitrage is, I just kind of wanted to say why Amazon is such a big opportunity. Amazon did $469 billion last year, and 58% of those sales came from Amazon third-party sellers, just like me. Third-party sellers do sell more product than Amazon itself does. They have over 300 million customers. The average business third-party seller on Amazon last year averaged $160,000 in sales. Over 15,000 people did over $1 million in sales on Amazon. And the biggest, most important stat here is 66% of customers start their search on Amazon. That means they're not going to Google and saying kids water bottle. They are going to Amazon, typing in kids water bottle, looking at the results, seeing what they like, what they don't like, reading the reviews, comparing prices, and then making a decision. So much opportunity there. It's definitely not saturated. A lot of people will say that, but it's not. So what is online arbitrage actually? Online arbitrage is pretty simple. It's basically buying product from a website and then selling it on a marketplace. So basically you buy something on Walmart.com, it's selling for $9. On Amazon, it's selling for $27. You send that to Amazon. Amazon sends it to the customer, and then you get a cut of the sale. And it is literally that simple to explain. So some of the biggest benefits of online arbitrage, and I know Rob and Melissa said that a lot of people are probably doing a lot more eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, and stuff like that. So with Amazon, and I sold on eBay, I've sold over probably $100,000 worth of used books on eBay. So I'm very familiar with the platform and, the pros and cons. But with online arbitrage, one of the best, here are some of the benefits. One, you could do it pretty much anywhere you want to, as long as you have a laptop. The items you buy, are replenishable. So if you bought, let's say that item from Walmart, you could buy 10 of them, 12 of them. When you're out thrifting, there's usually only one of an item. When you do a storage unit clear out, there's usually only one or two of an item. And those items are unique, which creates another problem is there's not a huge market necessarily for unique stuff. There's only so many people who want to buy a first edition of a book. There is so many more people who want to buy potato chips on Amazon versus that first edition. You don't have to create a product. You don't have to create a listing. You don't have to take photos of anything. And basically, the best part of all is eventually you could outsource all of this. So you could get a virtual assistant to help you find products online. You could also get a prep center who will prep the products you buy. Basically, you would send them to them and they would take all the stuff out of the boxes, put labels on them, and ship it to Amazon on your behalf for a fee. And that's kind of what I do now. And one of the biggest benefits of this is I work with a prep center in a sales tax-free state. So I'm not paying sales tax on what I buy, which gives me another advantage. Now that you know all about online arbitrage, how could you start making money doing it? I'm going to tell you right now. So what you have to do is you're going to go to sell.amazon.com. This will allow you to sign up and create a seller account so you could start selling on Amazon. This is always the first step when people ask, how do I get started? Number two, you're going to want to get a subscription to Keepa.com. This is a tool that shows you historical pricing on Amazon, how much a product actually sells and its rank, and a lot of other stuff that you need to determine whether a product is profitable or not. And the last thing I suggest, you don't need it, but I like to use an Amazon FBA calculator to help calculate profitability of an item. My preference is SellerAmp. Again, I'm not affiliated with any of these products that I mentioned. I just use them myself. They're extremely helpful. It will cost you less than $50 a month for both of those, and it will make your life so much easier. So once you kind of have that stuff, it's time to start searching and finding profitable products. One of the things that I have found most helpful is to pick a niche or a product category. You want to be doing this because you want to get really good at sourcing a certain and specific category, because it's going to be everything much easier for you. If you master how to maybe search 5 to 10 sites that sell that one category, you're going to know when the sales are, you're going to know when they run discounts, you're going to know when they run deals, you're going to have an idea of how frequently they run these deals. That's really hard to do when you're sourcing on 100 different websites. So I would suggest pick something you know. If you're really into video games, there's a great arbitrage for video games, buying from all sorts of websites, GameStop, Walmart, Target. They're all running sales. If you have kids, I'm sure there's stuff that your kids want or you're buying for your kids. I'm sure your kid wants a certain backpack or a Halloween costume or whatever. Those are all great places to start. So once you kind of have that niche, now it's time to find products that will sell on Amazon. So rough estimate, we're looking for products that are selling for 2 to 3 times more on Amazon. Just an estimate. It really depends on the size, the weight, and the category, but that's typically what we're looking for. One way to do this, a lot of people don't think it's possible to find products that are doing this, but we like to build moats around our products and give ourselves the biggest advantage. So some ways we are doing this. One, we shop a lot of sales. So someone has a sale 20% off, buy one, get one free, 40% off, 50% off. We're always looking for sales because that means we can get the item much, much cheaper. And just because the item is on sale at, let's say, Walmart or Target, that does not mean it is on sale on Amazon too. That price usually stays about the same. So we're looking for sales and ways to get the product down. 2, we're looking for opportunities to leverage coupon codes. So you could go to all sorts of sites. If you type in coupon codes, a whole bunch of sites will come up. There are plugins that you could use. We use Be Frugal, we use Rakuten, we use Top Cash Back. And basically when you're checking out, Honey's another good one. They will automatically try to insert product codes on the checkout page. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but that's another way to get cheaper items. That is the real goal, is to just get items as cheap as possible. You could also search clearance sections of websites. That is a good place to go. And there are websites, like I just mentioned, Rakuten, Top Cash Back. They all have sections on their websites of which stores are running sales and also which stores are offering cash back. So if you purchase something and you're using a cash back app, sometimes you'll get 1% back, 2% back of your total spend. So that's another way to build in some extra margin for you and to get that price cheaper. Once you kind of get into the rhythm and finding products, it gets easier. I know this all sounds very easy, kind of set it up like that. You know, it seems like you could just sit at home, go on your computer and just find all these profitable products. And you can. It's just going to take you a little while to do so. And you are here, I'm guessing, because you want to grow a successful business or implement some of these tasks to grow what you currently have going on. And you are probably a hard worker and willing to put in the work. If you are here, you signed up to go to a conference to learn. So there is a good chance you already know that. So trust me, when I first started, I was just like, oh, this is kind of difficult. How am I going to find stuff? I'm not finding a lot of stuff. But it just came down to knowing a couple of different things and getting mentorship, networking with the community. And that's kind of when everything changed for me. I started talking to people. We started little groups. I started getting coaching and help from other people. And that's what really sped up my process. in getting this business up and running. So just keep that in mind when you're going through these things, and always ask for help and reach out to people. Everyone's always happy to help. That's kind of a basic overview of online arbitrage and how I do it. If you want to learn more about how to do online arbitrage and exactly how I'm finding profitable products, I put together a special video for you guys. I've never really given this away before. Basically, I'm going to be live sourcing. So I'm going to go to a couple websites, show you exactly how I'm using the tools I do use to find profitable products. I have done this similarly on YouTube, and people find this the most helpful. So I show you exactly what I would buy, what I wouldn't buy, and why. So it will give you guys some insight on how to get started. And I'm also going to include some other bonuses for you as well. So you're going to want to go to Side Hustle Experiment / the Reseller Summit, and that video and all the other stuff will be there for you. Thank you so much for being here. Listen to my presentation. I hope you found this helpful and valuable, and I hope to hear your success stories, how you started crushing online arbitrage and selling on Amazon. And feel free to shoot me a DM at Side Hustle Experiment with any questions you might have. Thanks again. One last thing before you go, I am now offering coaching. After doing over $1 million in sales, reselling since I started, I've been getting a lot of questions about it and have started coaching. So if you're interested in one-on-one help, whether it's finding profitable products, getting started, getting things set up, selling books, getting bulk book suppliers, any of that stuff, all the softwares that I use, it's all free game. If you want to book a call, there's a link down below, and I hope to work with you.